Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Deiser. I'm here with my Damie Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Just a few health and wellness stories to go through today, but let's start with the giveaway.
Sure.
This is our first one for the show. I mean, we've done this exact same style of giveaway before, but it's a really easy one to do, and it's a really easy one to participate in, and the prize, or what you're getting for the giveaway is awesome, in my opinion.
Awesome, and I love it for this time of year. It's my favorite thing for this time of year.
Definitely. We're doing a 21-day vegan cleanse giveaway.
So with that, you'll get the cleanse and also the recipes?
Sure.
The bundle?
Okay.
We'll do the bundle.
We're doing the bundle.
So it's big.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely free, and the step is easy. 2 steps.
The steps are simple. To participate in this giveaway, all you need to do is leave us a review for the podcast on either iTunes podcast app or on Stitcher Radio, depending on if you're using Apple or Android. Screenshot your review and send it to contact@damiehealth.com. And when you send your screenshot, we'll confirm the email right away, and within 48 hours, you'll receive your bundle.
And let's just say 48 to 72 hours if it is through the weekend, because due to our work schedule, we do different things on the weekend. We're more content producing than email responding. So if in 72 hours you don't have a response for us, then you can email us again. But we are really great at it. One thing I will mention is, remember, the email address you email us with will be the one that the digital products will be sent to. These are ebooks. And also, they're really large files, especially the bundle. So sometimes they're sent to either your junk or your spam. So make sure that you check those before you email us. And if they are there, just mark us as safe and move them over to your regular email. But it's really simple, and you're going to have the full cleanse, the protocol. It's absolutely awesome. It's everything you need to eat, everything you need to buy. Like, everything is very set out, easy, and it is an amazing kickstart cleanse, just a way to really spring into this season. It's I love it. I'm very passionate about the 21-day vegan cleanse. I'm very proud of the work we did there, because it's something that will forever be something I use.
Absolutely.
On rotation.
Absolutely.
It's really awesome, and it's a gentle cleanse. So it's not, depending on how drastic of a change this is of a lifestyle, but and it's a great introductory to see how you feel about eating a plant-based diet.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But give it the full 3 weeks if you want the best results.
Definitely. It's really helpful for people who aren't sure how to make meals on a plant-based diet. How do you live? How do you eat?
And even if you do eat healthy, sometimes it's nice to just take a break and not turn your brain off and just follow something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I use it myself.
For
so I
sure.
can just shut my brain off and just give us something for 3 weeks that's really, really healthy. And I know is just super clean, super simple, super easy, and it's very high raw food. So I love it for this time of year where it is starting to get warmer, and I don't know, I just feel so vibrant every time I use it. So anyway, the process is, one more time.
Okay, so today is Wednesday the 20th
Yes.
Of April 2016. You leave a comment on iTunes or Stitcher, screenshot your comment or your review of the show.
Kind review.
Yes, give us all the nice words you have
Love.
to say. And send it to contact@damiehealth.com via email by Sunday night. So Sunday the 24th of April will be the last day. So if Game of Thrones is on and you have not submitted your review or your rating of the show, you will not be getting the vegan cleanse bundle.
Or just do it right after.
And then within 24 to 48 hours, I'll send you the bundles.
Mm-hmm.
Or the bundle of both ebooks.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Simple.
Simple. We really appreciate all the kind words we've gotten so far on Facebook and on the blog, and we've gotten so many nice comments, and people have been really responding to some of the topics we've been doing, and we're really pleased with it.
I've received so many private emails that are just beyond.
It's just been crazy.
It's so kind. And the whole reason that we need public, these kind emails to be public is so that other people can find us too. You know, podcasting, like all this digital world, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there. So the only way to expand our message, which we're very passionate about, is to get those reviews so that we're, you know, basically more talked about and people can find us easier, because we want to have as big a community. We would love to see our community, you know, continue to grow the way it has.
For sure. Thank you so much for sending in your reviews.
Yes, thank you.
Today's show, how to generate luck, how to be lucky. Who is lucky? Why are they lucky? What is luck? What do you think? Is luck something that you just are born with, or what's your view on lucky people versus unlucky people?
No, I think luck is...
Just straight no.
I think luck... I wish I prepared for this. I think luck is attitude meets preparation meets willingness. You know, so willingness as in being open, in the moment, present, clear to even see opportunity. Preparation, you've done the work so that when you meet that opportunity, you're already, you know, the expert, or you're already amazing at your craft, or you're already just waiting to be found type of deal. And attitude, did I say attitude? Yeah, so attitude, you have to have continual hope, because life can really beat you down. You know, most of us that have had good things happen in our life, it's after 1,000 terrible things have happened. You know, it's after somebody said no so many times, or told you all the reasons you're not going to be successful, or, you know, said, you know, and you can carry that all around. So every day you almost have to delete all the crap and just be like, something great might happen today. And if you have those things, so the attitude, the preparation, and the willingness or openness, that's luck.
There you have it.
You know.
And you said you're not prepared. That's amazing. I love that framework. It's perfect. It's so valuable too, because you can really see how those things can actually help generate luck. I mean, the debate here is, you know, are some people just prone to negative circumstances more than others?
No.
And objectively, is that true?
No. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I've lived both sides of the coin. I've lived like the everyday waking up, oh, what's going to happen now? Oh, another family member's sick. Oh, another community member has cancer. Oh, another bill just came in and all the bills, and oh, darn it, I have to do something else to my house. Like, that was my existence. And then it was completely transformed to like, something great might happen today. Today might be the day that just something wonderful happens and my whole life can change. So I've seen it, I've lived both sides of it. And I just have become such a witness of it because I'm so interested in it. And, you know, terrible things do happen. You know, that's undeniable. But then you have people in the world that tragic things happen, and they use those things as a powerful tool to either help others or to make the world a better place. So, for instance, you know, like, all politics aside, but like Joe Biden, you know, he is every example of a man that has every right to like just curl up in a ball and drink himself to death and say the world is terrible to me. He lost his whole family in a car accident.
I know.
And then he lost his beautiful, amazing son to cancer. Like, I mean, how much can one man take, right? But instead, he takes these things as a tool to help heal others. And there's power in that. So it's all how you perceive these things that happen to you. You know, I've unfollowed people on Facebook that I genuinely care about because I can't. You know, they'll type out, oh, today I lost my keys. Then it was raining. Then I went to do the laundry and my dryer wasn't working. And like, we all have those things. But if that's how heavy you feel about those things, how are you ever going to be open to anything good? Or when the good happens, how can you ever receive it? And you're definitely not going to be prepared for it because you're far too negative. Right?
Right.
So that person would say they're unlucky. I would say they're just living under this cloud they created themselves.
Yeah, so two different examples here. One where people actually go through really, really hard times.
And nobody's demoting those things. And there are tragic things that happen in the world. And there are times where you are completely entitled to be in that and feel that darkness and have, people around you just support you and love you and just, that's real. And I would never, put down anybody going through the grieving process. I think, grieving is something that we should all do. But then it's what you do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what you do with those terrible circumstances that have happened.
For sure. Well, the basis of today's show that as a foundational thing I wanted to use was this article I read on theweek.com, and it's going through this researcher. Well, he's a Harvard a psychologist, not from Harvard, from a different school. Richard Wiseman wrote a book called Luck Factor, where he went through and did some research on these different groups of people and what does it mean to be lucky? Can you generate luck? Are certain people more unlucky than others? And then put a book together with all the research. And you've covered a lot of points already, just inherently what you believe to be luck generating, and we'll cover some of these things today. The article starts with, let's go back to your two examples here. We've got people who just go through a ton of things that are negative.
Or people that aren't going through really terrible things, but the perception of it is that they think everything is so tragic that they really go down with everything.
Exactly. Two completely different situations. And I feel like we've both, or many of us, have been in these situations before.
Completely.
And the point of this part of the conversation that we have to have is going through things, being in experiences does not mean that your future will be the same. You can change your luck, and research has shown that over and over. Luck can change. You can develop. We're using the term luck, but it's not really a great term for this. The English language doesn't really explain what I mean by this. But you can go from these experiences to not these experiences to something different.
But yeah, it all starts with you and your shift of owning your own thoughts. Owning your own stuff, like that,
and behavior, thoughts and behavior. You got it. That's right.
And then following through, doing the work that you change your behavior, your actual, the vibe that you carry. You have to own it. You have to come to a place where you actually realize, losing my keys doesn't mean it's a quote bad day.
Right.
You have to actually own that. You're not a victim.
What we see is that if you do experience, I lost my keys, it's going to be a bad day, then the day does become bad.
Of course. That's what you're focused on. Whatever you decide, whatever filter you decide is going to be your day, that's going to be your day. No matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah, I feel like I've been through this so many times with really, really, really difficult mornings, or being around people who we're in really a negative space.
Yeah, it's hard to hold your space when you're around,
especially as a young person. Then you have to
intense negativity. Well, yeah, and I mean, trying to figure that out as a young person, I don't have to own the thoughts of the people around me. I can live a different life. It's a challenge. Nobody said it's easy. None of this I'm not saying passively just do it, it's easy.
Right.
It's all work.
Yeah.
And it's all consistency. And it's all honesty with ourselves and ownership of our own stuff.
And on the more severe side, like you said, there's thousands, millions of examples of people who have been through the most traumatic and tragic things, who have come out on the other side and done incredibly positive things with their life and for the world, really.
Exactly.
So that is the basis of the discussion for today. Let's talk about how to generate luck. What do you do? What makes people luckier, and can you develop your own? This Richard Wiseman did a study. He set up a camp type thing where it was called Luck School, and they brought people in and they saw, can you increase your luck over a certain period of time, and 80% who attended, with like I think 1,000 people attended, said that by the end, over the next course of the next period of their life, luck was increased. 80%. That's incredible.
So already that's twofold, which I can explain in my own experience. So not only would you experience better things happening in your life and good things happening in your life, I want to really stress that a lot of it is you're just awake and aware to it. So you participate in it and you receive it. And that's the biggest thing I learned in my life. There was so much in my life that I couldn't receive or embrace or enjoy, or I couldn't even witness. It was a complete blind spot because I was so fogged with everything I didn't have and everything I wasn't born into and everything I wasn't born as. Because, luck also, you can say, like, I wasn't, some people are born supermodels. They're born just physically, stunningly gorgeous, and all they have to do is meet the right people. Boom. Done. Money, right? Some people are born into billions of dollars in trust funds. That sounds great. Those things are great. But you can't dwell on that the rest of your life. If you don't have it, you got to create it yourself. Create your own good. So, like I just remember going through so much of my life where it's twofold. I've created through participating in life and being aware and awake to all the good that was already here. I just witnessed so much more that I didn't realize that I should have been grateful for. I hate the word should, but that I could have been grateful for all these years, and I could have been awake to, and just so much pleasure and joy and beauty in my life that it was just naturally there. And then participating in that and massaging that and staying in that realm, amazing things in my life have happened. But again, like most of it has come with work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go through the points that this Richard Wesson makes, and you can compare it to that exact story. Number one is that lucky people maximize opportunities. I mean, this is exactly what you're saying. The real quote I like here is that lucky people just try stuff, and unlucky people suffer from paralysis by analysis.
And that brings up the quote for me. And I have had and have people in my life like this, and if I had a gentle way to explain it to them, I would. Some people find fault like there's a prize for it. And there's a couple people in my life that I actually deeply love that, every time I try to share something that's happening, this is our project we're working on and this is what we're doing now, they come up with, well, what about this though? What if this happens? What if you tell people you're doing this and you fail? What if this person does this? What if this happens to you again? Like, they, instead of just enjoying the moment right away. So if they're doing that with my good news, I can only imagine why they're stagnant and not moving forward in their own situations. It's because they are looking for fault instead of what great could happen. So perception is just such a powerful
that
thing.
Initial perception of looking, just searching for the negative compared with just accepting that there's some positive things that could happen from this.
Right, and also accepting that, of course, things cannot work out, but you're always going to be further along if you try. And if you're going to grow and you're going to develop, and there are many things that I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to pursue that never took place in my life, but they prepared me for my greater thing that I was supposed to be looking at that I didn't even know was a possibility. And now I'm in a place where, thank God, all those prayers and all that wasn't answered.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Nothing's a waste.
No. And when you do have these negative, this paralysis by analysis, when you do have these negative thoughts about potential things, you feel frozen. I mean, your cortisol goes up, stress hormones, they go wild. And you just literally, at that point, you can't get anything done. And I've been in that case before, where it's just, there's so much, potential bad things that could happen, or potential opportunities for failure. Why even take these steps? Why even organize yourself?
And I think that's why you and I constantly attempt to create and to flame let's just try attitude with each other. Yeah. We really we do. put a lot of effort into trying to stay awake to, you know what, let's just try.
Yeah.
Let's just try.
No, we do. And I think that you really need someone to complement yourself. You need a partner in that situation. It's so helpful.
Yeah. Or you just have to be your own best friend.
Yeah.
If you don't have a partner.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And if you do have a partner, you know, developing an actual partnership in all areas of life is something I highly recommend.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because why bother being the two of you and in love and all that stuff if you're not going to help each other experience the most possible out of life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And in studying these lucky people who are then maximizing their opportunities, a few traits came out. And don't critically analyze yourself too much on these traits, because these traits you can change. Lucky people are extroverted. They have more time with others, more interesting possibilities come about from that.
Just to soothe everyone, I'm an introvert, so don't worry about it. Continue.
Lucky people aren't neurotic.
I'm totally neurotic.
Tense, anxious people are less likely to notice and take advantage of opportunities. Lucky people are open to new experiences. If you resist the new, you're probably not going to have many interesting things happen. So basically the idea here is that, I sort of disagree, because I've seen, like, for example, we both have examples on these things where we contrary to this. However, you could analyze this a different way. People are extroverted, okay. Some introverted people actually go for opportunities as well.
And
it's not just extroverted.
Yeah,
people.
My category I would put myself as an introvert is I adore people and I love working with people. It's that the basis of and the best definition of an introvert is when I'm around people, I'm giving energy. When I'm alone, I'm gaining energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
You know.
Oh, exactly.
So
yeah, that's really
interesting.
interesting.
So I do lie as an introvert by definition,
mm-hmm.
for sure. Like, I adore people, but I can only be around them for I love being alone.
Yeah.
That's where I get my energy, I get my fuel. And the neurotic thing, I mean.
But I think that since you've reduced your anxiety, you've created more opportunities for yourself. Like, since you've been able to become more in tune, hone your actual energy.
Right, at the same time, but you want to tell me that Steve Jobs wasn't neurotic?
Yeah, for sure.
Because every time we do a project, the only arguments you and I ever have is because I'm being neurotic about one thing, like it has to be a specific color, or I haven't found the right font, or it has to, and I have to say, everyone that I admire in business has the same.
And they're able to notice and take advantage of opportunities. Okay, I like that, yeah. Sure.
So I guess it's more what you're neurotic about. Like, I'm not neurotic about, I wouldn't say daily things.
No, for sure. It's more big picture things, yeah.
But yeah, like about business and whatever, I'm a perfectionist, which I would categorize under neuroticism, and I think there's a lot of perfectionists that are extremely successful in business.
Yeah. Definitely. You're going to love this next one.
What?
In these studies, people who were lucky, 90% of the time were the types of people who listen to hunches and act on their intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yep.
Yep. Nothing to say about that.
No, I mean...
I think you've already really stated it, right? Like, I mean, you have to go with your gut. You have to be able to be in tune with how you feel about things. You have to recognize possibilities.
You have to be,
yourself.
And you have to be in tune with your higher desires.
Yeah. So
that you're not misguided. It's and intuition and gut instincts, and when you know something is right or when you definitively know something is wrong, it's an invaluable, inexplainable thing that can't be dismissed.
No.
I want to say, as we're continuing, like, I don't think I'm a super lucky person, so I guess there's things on this I could probably, like, I'm making it sound like I'm the luckiest person in the world, like I'm sitting on my yacht now, and my $1 billion company just went public, like,
yeah, right.
Okay, I'm not the luckiest person in the world. I don't think I am. My confidence in luck comes from, I have drastically, in a half of a lifetime, made my life an infinity times better. That's where I feel sometimes like the luckiest person in the world.
It's so funny because when I look at you, I see a lucky person.
That's really kind.
But lucky person who is generated on their own.
A lucky person that you've seen work their ass off.
Not lucky as in like you came into something.
No.
Lucky as in like you've generated something positive for yourself.
Thanks. Thank you, David.
The next one, we already covered this, optimism. Lucky people expect good fortune.
Yeah.
I think that's essential.
Any time in my life that I've expected, like I've had like this time is terrible, it's been. Any time where I'm like, you know what? This feels right. And it's so funny because in business, with me, you're very, David's very the one that watches the numbers, keeps us accountable numbers-wise, the behind-the-scenes stuff. And I'm always like, Dave, I have a really good vibe that things are whatever. And every time I'm like, we'll call it, quote, in the zone, is when everything prospers. Mm-hmm. Is it not true? You've witnessed that with me.
Absolutely true.
And that's why we're so good yin and yang that way.
Yeah. You can really generate.
Well, I've brought us, just on a feeling, there's been things where you've number projected, okay, this is going to be the growth, or this is what's going to happen. And I'm like, no, I'm going to quadruple that.
Right. I
just have a feeling. And you'd be like, all right, well, the numbers, like science, doesn't say, and then I would.
Yeah, right.
I can think of a time where you, when David was in school and he came home and he was like, okay, I don't know how to say this, but next month we need an extra $20,000. And I was just like, pardon me? Like,
what?
We were already taking my income, cutting it in half, living off half of it basically, and taking the other half of the income and putting it on the student loan so that we would, eradicate this debt, or like give it straight to the school to not get the student loans. And David came home and just said, yeah, we need $20,000 extra next month. And I was just staring at him like, so me, you want me to do what with that? And anyway, after my initial shock, I was like, you know what? All right. And you were like, I just remember you looking at me like, okay, crazy lady. You were more like kind of joking, like, how are we going to do this? Like, right. We're so screwed.
And you're like, okay, I'll go do it.
I was like, okay. And then 3 weeks later, it happened. So explain that. Mm-hmm. And like those moments don't continually, like if I could stay there my whole life, I wish I could. But it takes a lot of work.
Oh, does it ever? And so much mental work. It's exhausting.
That's what I mean. Like it takes the actual work to do the things that whatever. But you have to work on yourself to be in a space to receive that luck. It's hard to explain because and we don't use the word luck, so it's hard for us to kind of use it in this context. But like be in a space to receive good.
Right. Yeah, I think that's more the term. I when I said that I thought you were a lucky person, it kind of felt weird coming out of my mouth.
Because we don't use that word at all. We think it's foolish and kind of dismissive.
Yeah, it's dismissive of all the work that you've done.
For sure. But like for the context of this, let's just use luck. But what we're saying is like receive your greatest good.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Along the same lines, in terms of being optimistic and that being beneficial, this Richard Weissman found that 4 things, and that we have to go through these because it's really powerful. Superstitions are actually performance enhancing. That has been documented.
Well, I mean, you can't you can't watch these elite athletes and not believe in it. No, you just can't because, and also I get it. Yeah. Like when I do my morning routine, and not in a fearful, neurotic way. When I do it in the groove of, I'm putting wood on my fire, I'm revving my engines. When I do it from that place,
right? Boom,
success. Ask Tony Robbins, ask Stephen Curry, ask basically anybody that's doing anything like amazing in this world. Mm-hmm. They have rituals.
They do. It's true.
And it's the difference between like Michael Beckwith really taught me like if it's rich, I shouldn't use that word. I think it's if it's ritualistic, like as in like from oh my god, I got to do this like tap 4 times like OCD, neuroticism, then it's harmful. But if it's this is what I do to fuel my fire and I'm committed to my practice, commitment to your practice, then it fuels. So it's about knowing the difference between the two because I used to be neurotic and I'd be mean about it. Like if someone interrupted my meditation, I'd be like, oh, you're ruining my day and whatever. And it's like, I laugh at that now, right? It's like, what? Like, no, you're missing the whole point. It's like when you're mean to people at Whole Foods. Right. And like how funny that is. It's like, oh, this is so dumb. But so that's the difference. It's about not taking your practice so seriously. right?
Oh, that's good.
It's about being from a space of this fuels my engine.
It's like when you're mean to people at Whole Foods.
Well, that just always makes me laugh so hard when people are really, really mean at Whole Foods. Like, I'm really into, like, organic and local and, like, cruelty-free, but get from my way.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Oh my gosh, Amy.
It's like the day I saw a man, and I think it was in the Whole Foods parking lot. I saw him litter, and then he got out of his car, and he got his reusable grocery bags out of the trunk. It just struck me so funny.
Oh my god. Oh.
I loved it.
Screw the environment, but I'm not getting caught with a plastic bag.
Come on now. I will be a recycler in public, but if no one sees me litter.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it just made me laugh.
Wishing someone luck makes them do better. This has been documented.
I totally believe this.
Yeah,
and from my spaces, like, if I'm paying attention to everyone else and all the good that they have and all the things that they were born into or given or whatever, and I didn't, I'm in a space of negativity. Mm-hmm. I'm in a space of, I don't have, and I don't want you to have either. But if you're in a space of, I wish you well, I wish really good for you, that means that you're in a space of, there's enough for everybody in the world.
Right.
There's enough good for all of us. If you're restricting good in your mind, same if you're restricting love in your mind for someone else, if you're restricting good, you're really restricting it only from yourself. Because what you're saying is there isn't enough to go around. That person doesn't deserve it. And if you think they don't deserve it, then you don't deserve it. Which is the whole, like, breakdown of the Course in Miracles, if you really...
Yeah, exactly. That is it.
Yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Irrational overconfidence increases productivity and improves teamwork. This is what you're talking about. Overconfidence is helpful to get stuff done. It's helpful to succeed. It's helpful to be to be successful.
I've been accused of being overconfident my whole life. I was actually called on a date once, said that I had little man syndrome.
Oh my gosh. Oh God. So there you have it.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Which is like such an insult in two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're saying that I'm too confident for what you perceive I actually am on a date. Like, where do you think this is going to go?
Right.
Anyway.
And finally, this is one of the other foundational things of being lucky and generating luck. Lucky people turn bad luck into good. And you've talked about this already so far. It's not that lucky people or the people that we see or we perceive to be lucky are always lucky. We just see that they can handle adversity better. They can see the positive in things. They can grow from things. And
I think it all comes from if you just have the rooted belief that life is for you and never against you, and every circumstance is here for your highest good. If you can really start just saying those two quotes to yourself, maybe first thing in the morning, and at first they feel like a lie, but you start breathing into them and you bring those into your daily life and then start to embody them and let those really take root, then even terrible things somehow will breed something good. There's a gift within everything. And it's our job to find it. And it's our job to express it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. I mean, it brings it back to the personal. It brings it back to your inherent power. Because people who feel more powerful actually become more powerful. They do more good. I think that's an excellent way to end it. Well,
and an example right now is, I don't want to say her name wrong, Malala, or whatever. I forget what her name is, but the Afghan student.
Oh, yes,
right,
okay.
That was shot for studying and all that stuff, and you can read into her story, but now she is a huge, powerful symbol for so many women and female children around the world of owning your power and owning that you can have an education and overcoming. But she would never have that power or that story if this terrible tragedy didn't happen to her.
Yeah, it's true.
And she has every right to be sitting somewhere in a bedroom just crying her eyes out and never hear from her again. She is a victim. She was a victim. But she took that as her gift and transformed it into something so powerful. And I mean, that's a major example. But if she can do it...
Mm-hmm. And these examples can be translated into little things that you can use in your everyday life. That's what I try and do.
Definitely. And I mean, if all the things that happen to us these little what don't compare nearly to that. But if all the bad things that didn't happen to us, you and I wouldn't be in the position that we are today and be able to reach the people we are today from a level of that we know what people are going through. Mm-hmm. We would never have that gift. If you and I were born into just this whatever life and just were never lived anything and never went to the depths of like the human conditions, then we would never know. We could never talk on that level to anybody.
Yeah, and we talk about this all the time. You have to use your experiences to generate what you want to see in the world.
Definitely. It's not about beating people over the head with it either.
Of course, no.
Sometimes it's an unspoken, I get where you're coming from because I've been there, and you can feel it. It's on a vibrational level. It's hard to explain, but you can feel a person that has depth. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between someone that doesn't and someone that does. Yeah. And there's a healing quality in that. And I always feel it's a gift.
It really is.
It really is a gift.
It really is. I'd like to sum it up there.
Sure.
If we could. What we've discussed today is really how to be successful. It's not really how to be lucky. It's how to receive your greatest good is what I would frame it as. I love that. Receive your greatest good. And we can call that luck or we can call that whatever. But the four main tips are pretty simple. Lucky people maximize opportunities. Lucky people, do well through adversity, or at least they can progress through in a positive way. Lucky people are optimistic, and lucky people listen to their intuition, and that's really the foundation. Mm-hmm. That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you, Amy, for sharing your tips.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamiHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.